Today we're going to talk about Jacques Tati
Yeah.
because we watched Parade from 1974, his last movie. This is an interesting little film because it's almost like it's a live performance film, but it's more than that because he's able to use cinematic technique. He uses cinema in a way that you wouldn't be able to like portray in like an
Yeah.
actual live studio.
He crafts a narrative around
Yeah.
it.
But basically, the movie is about a circus show, a live circus show that's going on, that's put on by Jacques Tati, and he's hosting it. And it's literally just a circus performances of different like vignettes of performances. There's not really any real like story or through line. It's just really about like as an audience member watching a show of different circus acts, and then sometimes an audience member will join in, and then sometimes you're wondering, oh, is this person actually like, is he just part of the performance, or is he like an actual audience member?
Yeah.
You know? And I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was. It was very cool. So apparently it's based off of a act he used to do,
Yeah.
which was about like different sports. And so each performance they do is like somehow like sports themed in a way. It was really cool. It was really well done. It's like what you've come to expect from Jacques Tati, at least me personally, of something like really, really great choreography, great performances. He himself really like carries a lot of the scenes. I felt like as a performer, he's like just so next level that every time he's on scene, it's so magnetic. And yeah, it was good. Definitely, I've seen Jacques Tati movies where I'm like, it's not at the level of Playtime. It's not at the level of like Mon Oncle, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like that really was the pinnacle of like what he was able to pull off was Playtime. That was just so freaking amazing. But apparently, the reason he did this is because he was so bankrupt after
Yeah.
Playtime
Yeah.
that he had to make Traffic, and he still didn't make enough money back. So then he had to make this movie, which was funded by the Dutch.
Yeah, but it's shot in Sweden.
It was shot
It's
in
a
Stockholm.
It's a Swedish audience that goes to see the movie
I thought it was
or the show.
I thought it was a like shot in like I don't want to say Amsterdam.
Ukraine. Ukraine.
No, it was I can't remember where it
They
was.
have blue
but
and yellow in their flag.
Oh yeah.
Like Sweden has blue and yellow. Like
Yes.
the yellow cross, blue background. Ukraine has blue and yellow.
But it was overall like, man, wasn't that great? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like, I'm not gonna put it on like if I'm chilling with the homies. We kind of just watched it as like a fans of Jacques Tati, and he's really is like a performer in the first place. Like he's really like a showman in the first place, and he's a mime and he's a magician, and like I really fuck with filmmakers who were like at first magicians.
Yeah.
You know, like fucking like Jacques Tati and like Woody Allen and like Federico Fellini. Like they were all like kind of doing circus type vaudeville shit in the beginning. Then they became like filmmakers because it's all illusions.
Yeah,
You know, it's
it
all
is.
like tricks and stuff. And like him as a mime is really impressive because he's like doing all these sports. He's so into it. And then those were the acts that stood out to me were like the miming stuff, and then like the juggling shit was cool. And then like what I really liked was when they do the pole vaulting in the middle of the symphony. You know, it's not the pole vaulting, but like the vaulting chair,
the vaulting
horse
thing, yeah.
vaulting chair. And then when they're all riding the mule, they're all trying to ride the mule, and that was
Yeah,
really
I was
cool.
thinking about that.
And they have like the guy come in from the audience,
Yeah.
but obviously he's just part of the act.
Yeah, he's part of the act for sure, yeah.
Yeah. They do some edits where like the kid runs out, but obviously he's not out there because that would be too dangerous.
Yeah.
This movie only could have worked in the medium of film. It couldn't just be like a live performance.
Yeah.
You know, so he combines the art form of the circus with like the medium of film too, like edits and stuff that like make it work. And it is kind of like a Netflix special, 1974. If like Netflix made a comedy special, you know, and like it would be cool to see it live in real life. But you know, Jacques Tati like died like broke and alone and stuff, which is really sad because he really was a true artiste. And
He's so influential to so many filmmakers nowadays.
yeah, like Wes Anderson like ripped him off really hard. Fucking no one like Playtime is really a masterpiece.
Like even Barbie's like,
yeah,
dude, like Barbie's such a Playtime movie.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And he was a comic genius and like a genius filmmaker and had his own aesthetic, and
Oh yeah.
it's just so cool. He had his own cinematic language.
Yeah, just like that's what's fucking amazing about all these filmmakers that we like talk about is they all have their own unique cinematic language. It's not like they learned, this is how you shot, reverse shot, Marvel movie. Like, no. It's like they go off of their instinct and they like form their own language of what calls to them.
Yeah, like Jacques Tati is like an art house Charlie Chaplin type vibe for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And I love how little dialogue there is in his movies. It's all like very like visual and just very compelling, just in terms of like the stunts he's able to pull off and what he's able to say just without saying much. I've always been really, really drawn to that aspect of it. And yeah, I don't know. I think when he's on the top of his game and he's making something like Playtime, it's tragic that it didn't get enough recognition until later in life because it's such a phenomenal movie.
Yeah, he's kind of like Mozart. Like Mozart, like died sick and poor, and like they threw him in the ditch. You know.
Yeah.
Even though he was really great.
Also, Traffic is really good too. That's a great movie.
I know. I watched it, but I don't remember it.
It's kind of It's cool because it's about like car shows and stuff, and then like he has his own car that he designs, and it's like this ridiculous like camper van.
Yeah.
It's kind of the whole message is like he always has these like really like young women in the audience. They're like, or not audience, but like young women. There's like like performing with him that like are kind of like a little like he has like a little flirt with them. Like you can tell he was like a horny bastard for sure.
They all kind of were. Like I've seen Mon Oncle and Playtime and Traffic and Parade. I still haven't seen Mon Dieu ou l'autre Holiday.
I wasn't that crazy about that. I watched it like last year for my birthday. I was like, fuck yeah, like Jacques Tati, I want to watch that on my birthday. And then you could tell that he hadn't really found his voice yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, isn't there another movie before that that's on the...
Yeah.
I gotta watch that. But I also gotta watch Mon Dieu ou l'autre Holiday.
Yeah.
But I like Mon Oncle a lot.
Mon Oncle is like fucking really good.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so good. Jacques Tati.
I wouldn't recommend this really, but like I would recommend Playtime.
I would recommend Jacques Tati in general, yeah. Maybe I wouldn't start with this one. This is definitely just like kind of on the fringe watch, you know. But
let's start with this because people would be like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, let's watch something on Netflix or something.
Yeah.
But also another person who was really inspired by Jacques Tati was Roy Anderson.
Oh, dude, Roy Anderson's so fucking sick. I want to watch more of his stuff and talk about it on here because he's so great, dude. Was it a pigeon sits on a telephone pole contemplating life or something?
Yeah, his pigeon sat on a branch and thought about his existence or something like that.
That movie's so fucking good, dude.
Yeah, that's like real art in real life, but he's kind of like a direct predecessor to the Jacques Tati style.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that for sure, yeah.
Like he's dope as fuck too. And like definitely Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
And like
there's so many people. Like anyone that like Jacques Tati definitely learned like composition from people like Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton, things like that. But he really evolved the media in a way that like now he's kind of like passed the baton and down to like Roy Anderson, Wes Anderson, all these other people that like really are like about what exists within the frame.
Yeah.
Like, how do you tell a story like within a frame of stylistically and the composition that you're dealing with? It is really, really cool to see.
Yeah, formalism.
Yeah, formalism.